the Voodoo Palace. They've lost 5 out of the last 6 here, and to the Cowboys overall, they've lost 11 out of 12. Here with John Madden, and John, it's good to be back with you. What do you think it is about the Giants Cowboys? What about the mystique, or is there any?
I think there probably is a little mystique, and you know, the Giants may be the last team that believe in that mystique. And most of the problems they have are in the passing game. They've had problems when they play the Cowboys. They have problems with interceptions. They have problems with fumbles. They have problems with sacks. And I think if the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys today, they have to do it with their throwing game and eliminate those mistakes. Now, on the other side, the Cowboys, I think they have to do it just the opposite. If they're going to beat the Giants, they have to do it on the ground. They have to do it running with Herschel Walker. I think at the end of the game, Herschel Walker has to have at least 30 carries for over 100 yards. Now, that may not be as difficult as it seems, because in the first 2 games, the Giants have allowed runners to gain over 100 yards in both of them.
How about the microphone goes with the tie? How about that? Texas, for the match between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most bitter rivalries in professional football. Hurricane Gilbert has gone away. It is hot and humid and a pretty good day to play here in Texas. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall. I love tennis, but it's nice to be back in the NFL and doing pro football again. A warm day, as I said. The Giants have had some tough times here at Texas Stadium. In fact, they've lost 5 out of the last 6 here. There's something about the mystique of the stadium. Coach Bill Parcells says it's the Voodoo Palace. I don't know if it's the stadium or the rivalry between the Cowboys. With me is John Madden. Good to be back, John. What do you think about it? Is there a mystique between these two teams, or a jinx against the Giants?
I think so. I think the Cowboys have that thing, that cowboy mystique, America's team, and maybe the Giants are really the last team that believe that. And I know that their problems have usually been with the passing game. They've had things like batted balls, interceptions, sacks. Bad things happen to them. And I believe if they're going to win, they have to be able to throw the ball. Phil Simms has to have a good day today. Now, on the other side, the Cowboys, I think it's just the opposite. This is Herschel Walker's team. If they're going to win the game, they have to be able to run it. They have to be able to keep it on the ground, give it to Herschel Walker at least 30 times, and I think he has to gain over 100 yards. Now, that may not be too tough, because in the Giants' last 2 games, a running back has gained 100 yards in each of them.
The Cowboys will start the game on offense. Raul Allegre to kick off. Darryl Clack and Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Warm and humid. That could be a factor before the day is over. Allegre, good kick. It's going to be Clack at the 1. Gets through his hands. He's trying to bring it out of the end zone. It could be a safety right off the bat. Mark Collins was the first Giant down there, safety, and the Giants on the first play of the game take a 2-0 lead.
That's an interesting thing, because if Clack stepped out of the end zone, then he has to bring it out. I think he wasn't sure whether he stepped out or not. Thought he did, then thought he did. Now watch him. He catches the ball in front of the goal line where he first touches it. Now he comes out. He didn't have control of that. I think he could have stayed in the end zone with it.
Safety, only 2 points, but the results of a safety can be sometimes disastrous, because you give up the ball and you usually give it up in very good shape to the other team.
I'll tell you, it's another way that when you come out of that locker room, of all the ways to start the game, this was one you put at the bottom of the list. Look who was in there and made that tackle was Mark Collins.
Right.
Of course, he was the guy that was beaten last week on that play by Jerry Rice, although he played a great game the rest of the day.
John, we've just gotten word that Kevin Brooks, the Cowboys defensive tackle, who's off to such a sensational start this year, his wife was involved in an automobile accident on the way to the stadium. She, as far as our information leads us to believe, is okay. He just got here and is right now getting dressed. So we'll see. The good news is that she apparently is not seriously injured. Mike Saxon, number 4 for the Cowboys, will punt. Phil McConkey back deep for the Giants, fields it at his own 32. And McConkey, who also is off to a great start this year, gets it back close to midfield before Gary Cobb brings it down. It's a 17-yard return for McConkey. Phil Simms, who's had some frustrating days here at Texas Stadium along with his teammates, will start at quarterback. The defense, Ed Jones, Kevin Brooks, of whom we just spoke, Danny Noonan, and Jim Jeffcoat up front. Brooks has not made it into the lineup as yet. The secondary. Morris. Out of bounds at the Dallas 38. Knocked out by Robert Williams. Mark Whalen has taken Brooks' place, by the way. The offense for the Giants. Sims, Morris, Maurice Carthon, Manuel Ingram, and the tight end is Mark Bavaro. Up front, Roberts, Ard, Bardotes, Damian Johnson, and John Jumbo Elliott starting at right tackle. Mark Ingram split wide to the right, Manuel to the left. Bavaro is the man on the move. Smart. Those of you who watched the Phoenix Cardinals win their first game of the year by beating Tampa Bay 30-24. That's the final. Welcome to Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Giants lead this one 2-0. Safety on the opening kickoff. Giants at the Cowboy 36 now. In good shape. Bright, hot, and sunny. Sims to throw. Intended manual. Incomplete. Covered by Down. Those of you who watched the New Orleans Saints beat Detroit 22-14 to improve their record, and Minnesota and Chicago's audience have joined us. We're at Texas Stadium. The Vikings overwhelm the Bears. Here it's 2-0, 3rd and 8. Pat Summerall, John Madden. George Adams into the backfield. Stephen Baker split wide to the right. Sims out of the shotgun. Sims to take off. Try. Caught by Noonan. After Randy White got a hand on it. Two giant receivers, the two key ones, it would appear, ran into each other downfield. Bavaro and Ingram.
Well, that was the thing that the Giants were worried about. The thing is, not can they throw the ball or not can they get open, but can they protect Phil Simms long enough? The first time he really had to pass, the Giants failed.
Kelvin Martin back deep to receive Maury Buford's punt. Looking into the sun, this one's going to go way into the end zone and way out. Well, now they're marking it back. He pulled it more than I thought. At the 7-yard line, they mark it down. 29-yard punt by Buford. Dallas takes over at their own 7. Got off to sort of a whirling start.
Yeah, it did, and I think that whirling start was a real advantage for the Giants because this Cowboy crowd was excited, you know, during the introductions, the Cowboys and everything. And one thing that does, it not only gets you a lead, but it quiets that crowd down initially.
The Giant linebacking core and their secondary. Hollins and Williams to corner. Shotgun first down, throws plate intended for Ray Alexander. Covered by Perry Williams. Those of you who watched the Redskins beat Philadelphia, welcome to Texas Stadium. Washington improves their record to 2-1. Eagles would be 1-2. One of these two teams would be in a first-place tie with the Redskins when it's over. It's 2nd and 10, Cowboys from their own 7. Michael Irvin split wide to the left. Valor from his end zone. Dumps it out to Newsom. Newsom outside the 10 to about the 12. Gain of 5. The offense for the Cowboys, Valor the quarterback, Herschel Walker and Timmy Newsom the runners. Alexander and Irvin the wide receivers, and Doug Cosby the tight end. 2 and 8, Nate Newton, Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, and Kevin Gogan up front. It'll be 3rd and 5. Kelvin Edwards wide left. Irvin and Martin wide right. And for the blitz for Newsom. Out of bounds at the 41. Adrian White and Pepper Johnson put the heat on Valor.
As we said earlier, this is Herschel Walker's team now. He's eventually going to be the guy that they have to get the ball to. Here we see Herschel Walker blocking, and who do they go deep with? Timmy Newsom. I think he's a guy that the second you forget about him, he's going to hurt you someplace.
The Dolphins got into the win column, and we'd like to welcome those of you who watched Miami's victory over Green Bay to Texas Stadium, where it's 1st and 10, the Giants leading 2-0. Thornton Chandler this time is the tight end, lined up to the left. Pitch back to Walker. Maybe 3, 4. Carl Banks, the first Giant to make contact.
I think the Giants, if they're going to have any semblance of defense, the way they have in the past, Carl Banks has to play well. And in the first 2 games, he really hasn't. Now that play there, he started to look like the old Carl Banks. Took on that tight end, boom, held that hole, and made the play. A couple years ago, you wouldn't even think of running at Carl Banks.
2nd and 6. Irvin splits out wide to the right. They're number 1 draft choice. Giants show the blitz, and they bring it. Cosby is incomplete. He got involved in a sandwich between Pepper Johnson and Mark Collins. How long, realistically, John, do you think it'll take Carl Banks to get back into the kind of shape he was at the end of last year?
I think that he won't be the old Carl Banks until after 4 games. You know, this game isn't that type of game that you can come in and miss all the training camp and all the preseason games and play like you did. If it were that simple, everyone would be playing, you know. But and you need the training camp, and you need those preseason games. And everything happens so quickly, so fast, that no matter what you did, you can't be ready for this play.
That's the thing about it. It happens so quickly. That's the thing you miss. 3rd and 6. Banks in the middle, showing blitz. Now he backs out. Valor. Not much time, now takes off with it. And Valor struggles to midfield. We're just short of it before he's knocked down by Eric Dorsey. Picks up 5, 1 short of a first down.
Well, yeah, that's one thing you don't see many NFL quarterbacks do now, and that's run head first. You know, usually when they break in the open, they go into that slide. Valor tried to get that first down by running like a fullback.
Pressure on Valor that forced him to run was by Leonard Marshall. Saxon standing back at his own 35. McConkey back deep for the Giants. Good kick by Saxon. McConkey signals fair catch, backs away from it. And the Giants will take over just at about their own 8. 43-yard punt by Saxon, a good one. 2-0. The Giants lead the Cowboys. Texas Stadium, where the Giants, after Darryl Flack couldn't decide on the opening kickoff whether to stay in the end zone or bring it out. Finally made an attempt, and the Giants on the opening kickoff got a safety, so they lead 2-0. Again, in case you might have just joined us, Kevin Brooks' wife, the starting Dallas defensive tackle, was involved in an automobile accident on the way to the stadium. He is not playing at the moment. She is supposed to be okay. Here's Joe Morris around Jeff Coat. Cowboy pursuit takes him out of bounds. Bill Bates, no gain. The last 5 losses against Dallas. Is a flag on the last play, by the way. Quarterback's been sacked 20 times, interceptions and fumbles, and those are the things that have turned things the Cowboys' way in this series.
Defense, offsides, nose guard. First down.
There is Kevin Brooks, who's gotten his uniform on, didn't have a chance to warm up, and taking advantage of this opportunity to stretch things out a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about Kevin Brooks with Tom Landry last night, and he said coming out of training camp, he's probably the most improved player on the entire Cowboy team.
1st and 5 it is. Sims on the draw play. Jeff Coat takes down Joe Morris with help from Eugene Lockhart.
One thing with the Giants, Pat, is they have this new offensive line. They got a rookie, John Elliott, starting at right tackle. That's him right there, number 76. They only have 2 guys playing the same position that they played in the Super Bowl. And the best thing to get an offensive lineman confidence is to be able to run the ball early. The Giants are doing that.
That's just 2 years ago, of course. A lot of changes. Navarro's the man in motion. This is Morris. Morris outside the 20, enough for a first down. Pickup of 4. Stopped again by Lockhart.
You know, that's the old thing about establishing the run. It's not as much for Joe Morris as it is for that offensive line. You know, they get all fired up. The adrenaline's flowing. You come out of there, you got a little sweat going. It's humid. And you want to fire out and hit something. You know, you don't want to back up into pass protection. And I think it's always an advantage. I've always been one of those guys that believe there's an advantage to let your linemen come out and let them fire out right now initially. Start the game that way.
Sims on 1st and 10. Pass incomplete, intended for Lionel Manuel. It's one of the things Phil Sims was saying to us last night. We have to throw when they think we're going to run, and we have to run when they think we're going to have to throw.
And the guy that he wants to throw to is Lionel Manuel. You know, he didn't mention any of his other receivers. He didn't mention his tight ends. He just mentioned Lionel Manuel, who right now is Phil Sims' favorite target and should be all day.
2nd and 10. Manuel this time is split wide to the right. Maurice Carthon in the backfield with Morris. And now he moves in motion. Sims back again. Screen pass coming to Morris. Morris still on his feet, out of bounds. Flag on the play. Michael Downs made the stop on Joe Morris. Good call. Pat Haggerty in the direction of the Giants.
Those things are killers. You finally get something started, and boom, this happens.
Number 44.
On Maurice Carthon.
Yeah, that's a form of a block. If it were a run, it would be great. If it's a pass, you can't do it when the ball's in the air. Had he handed off, what Carthon did is okay. But the fact that it was a pass, even though it's a screen pass, now you take the rules of the pass and you can't block when the ball's in the air.
2nd down and 20. Kevin Brooks, number 99, in the game now without a warm-up. Fake draw play by Sims. Going deep for Mark Ingram, who got it, lost it, incomplete. Robert Williams, the new cornerback who they say has not been beaten deep all year long, was not again.
I tell you, this is some pattern because he really has the whole field. Watch Williams. He's up in tight coverage, and he has to take Ingram all over the field. They finally get up here all the way across the field, but he has no help at all. That is true man-to-man. Robert Williams, one of those guys who was a running back in college. Then he was a wide receiver with the pros. They made him a defensive back, and watch him close on the ball. Although I think Ingram dropped that pass. He should have had that, huh?
He had it momentarily. 3rd and 20. Here's Sims back again. And down he goes. Ed Jones was there first, and then Danny Noonan. A loss of 9.
And that's the guy they're worried about. Right here is Ed Too Tall Jones. Watch him here all day. That's what the Giants have been worrying about. They've been worried about that all week. They got the rookie out there on him. Ed Jones gives him that arm and the arm over, and Phil Simms doesn't have a chance.
Buford standing with his feet on the end line. Gets it out of there and does it well. Fine punt to Kelvin Martin. He's in Giant territory. That was a 57-yard punt. From deep in the end zone, the return was 16 yards.
Watch the move he makes right here at number 39 on Sheldon White. It was before that. He put him down.
There's where he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, well, that was what I was saying, because he could have stayed there, right? I got to talk to someone, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did. By Phil Simms, almost a great catch by Mark Ingram, but look at Robert Williams here by getting his hand in there and stripped the ball. So he really, on that play, would have been a big play for the Giants, but 3 pretty good things happened.
Here's Pelluer on 1st down. Going. Michael Irvin. Out of bounds at the Giants 17, covered by Perry Williams.
Now there is an excitable guy, Michael Irvin. I tell you, he has some life in him. Watch him. He's up there on top. Brings Williams into the inside. Makes a pretty good cut on him. Williams keeps going deep. Good throw by Pelluer. Michael Irvin was the #1 draft choice of the Cowboys, and you got to like this guy, Pat. I mean, he really has a lot of spirit and life in him.
Great smile. Great enthusiasm.
Bouncing his walk.
Yep.
He acts more like a defensive player.
Here's Newsom. And nothing doing there but a flag on the play. A loss of 1. Leonard Marshall.
You see what Carl Banks did? He got his leg up there trying to trip him. Could be against Banks. If you saw him, he got blocked and knocked down, and Banks just lifted his leg up.
Tripping, number 58.
On Banks. And you were right.
Here it is. You'll see Banks is down, and then you're going to see the foot come out of the plow right there. You see him, in fact, he got Newsom right in the stomach. Watch him, he's up there in the top. Now watch him leg whip him with his right leg, catches him right there. You know, sometimes you do things like that. You know, you when you're out of shape or you're not in perfect shape, you start to react with other things other than movement. You start reaching to grab, and also sometimes you reach to kick.
It's just that things don't happen quite as quickly. 1st and 10. Cowboys. Right at the Giant 10 or just outside of it. 2-0. Lead. Newsom on the delay from Pelluer. Eric Dorsey on the stop. Newsom got 3.
You know, the interesting thing, Pat, we're talking about Herschel Walker. I don't think Walker's carried the ball yet, has he?
1 time for no gain.
Well, you know, when we were talking to Herschel, he said that he thinks that he does his best running as the game goes on. He'll do better in the second half and then better in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 7. 3 tight ends set up now for the Cowboys. They're at the Giant 8. Giants leading 2-0. Walker is the lone setback this time. Crosby's the man in motion, and the handoff is to Walker. Reverse coming. Kelvin Martin, no place to go. Well, maybe. No. Mark Collins. They saw it coming all the way.
Yeah, who made that play was Eric Dorsey. He gets penetration. He's going to miss him twice. But Dorsey is right here. Now he gets penetration, and he makes the ball go back beyond him. Then he gets down, and he jumps up and misses him again. Watch 77. See, now he gets way up there. Now he forces the ball deep. See, he makes him go around. Now when he comes back, here comes Dorsey again. Another miss. He ran right by him. But he's the guy that made that play.
And a good play by the new Giant linebacker as well. Number 98, Johnny Cooks, who did a good job of containing. Walker split wide to the left. Velour waits.
You know, when a reverse, you go like that and it doesn't work, you always wonder, why didn't they just give the ball to Herschel?
And let him keep it.
Time.
Took the timeout. If you count those X's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Cowboys look are 4 wide receivers, and the Giants only had 10 defensive players on the field.
Adrian White is the man who called the timeout. Sheldon White, sorry. So it'll make it 3rd and 23 for the Cowboys at the Giant 24. Edwards goes wide left. They go with 3 wide receivers. That's Irvin in motion. Velour. Intended for Kelvin Martin.
Kelvin Martin looked like on that one that he saw Terry Kennard coming. I think maybe he couldn't have caught it anyway, but Terry Kennard was a safety, and he was coming over, and it looked like Martin sneaked a peek on that play.
So Velour will hold for Roger Ruzick from 41 yards away. How about that one? Never missed in Texas Stadium.
Yeah, but this is his first kick this year, too. Roger Ruzick's been a holdout, just activated this week.
From 41. And perfect. So with 6:29 left to play in the first quarter, the Cowboys lead the Giants 3-2. Wiped out Velour, didn't he?
See, he saw him. No, give me the other one.
Okay.
No, the other one. No, this one's no good. Let it go.
Madden, we're live at Texas Stadium. To summarize what's happened so far, Dallas gave up, or the Giants got a safety on the opening kickoff with Darrell Flack to decide whether to come out or stay in the end zone. Roger Ruzick just kicked a 41-yard field goal. The Giants have -9 yards passing, as the Cowboys have been putting heavy heat on Phil Simms. Lee Roussan and Mark Ingram back deep for the Giants. Cowboys up 3-2. 6:29 left first quarter. Bright sunlight now. Ruzick's kick hangs high. Ingram. At about the 23 by Todd Fowler. 18-yard return. 49ers leading Atlanta 3-0, and the Rams over the Raiders 7-0. Phil Simms. -9 yards passing. Dallas -5 yards rushing. Randy White in the Dallas defense playing as a linebacker at the moment. And they come in his direction. He's not involved in the stop, but the Cowboys smother by Kevin Brooks. Right now for an NFL update, let's go to our New York studio, Brent Musburger. Here it's 3-2, second and 5 with 5:44 left first quarter. Sims this time has time, gets the ball to Morris. Like about a yard shy of the first down, stopped by Michael Downs to pick up a 5. Gary Cobb also involved. Here comes Ed Jones back in.
Well, the Cowboys went to a 3-man line with Randy White as a linebacker to give him the rush man. And when they do that, I guess they're taking Too Tall out. You know, when a guy plays 14 years, we're talking about Randy White and Too Tall, and it's a hot day like this and humid. I think Ernie Stautner, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, is trying to keep them both fresh.
Got close enough to the first down for them to bring the chains out. They got the first down. You know, Randy White, who has been so outstanding for all these years, those 14 years, last spring, last March, he could not even turn his head because of an injury to his neck. 9 times in the Pro Bowl. He's done an amazing job of rehabilitating.
Well, you know that thing, and you know, a year ago he couldn't lift weights at all, and Randy White has always been a quickness guy with a good mixture of strength, and he lost his strength. And this summer he didn't practice at all. He was a coach in training camp.
First down, Giants. Carthon in motion. Sims fake to Morris. Comes out of the pocket, gets it to Morris, who's hammered by Gary Cobb and Eugene Lockhart after a gain of only 3.
Hey, Big John Elliott there at the right tackle, the rookie right tackle, did a pretty good job on Too Tall on that last play. And I think if he can just keep doing that, just get into him and just ride him to the outside so Sims can step up, then they may have a chance.
He's certainly big enough. 300 and something. Once you get past 300, it doesn't really matter, does it? Carthon in motion. And off Morris, who bolts into the Dallas secondary and almost breaks it at midfield. A gain of 12, finally stopped by Bates and Wall.
Yeah, and that's what you like as an offensive lineman. And you watch Elliott there. Give me some run to my side. Run inside me so the guy just can't pass rush all the time. He flew by him the first time, then he came back and picked him off just enough to let Joe Morris go through. But an offensive lineman always wants a run to his side to calm down a pass rush.
Good block by Damian Johnson on Brooks as well. Otis Anderson has replaced Morris. Let's see with the ball. Into Cowboy territory before he stopped by Gary Cobb. Pickup of 2.
That's one thing. The Giants only have 2 points, but one thing offensively, they've had good mixture. You know, they're not starting where they have to pass every down. I think they have a good game plan to start the game when you're playing here in Texas.
At the Dallas 49. Second down and 8.
Hold him out, D. Hold him out, Line.
Hold him out, guys. Please.
Sort of like a prayer.
All right, way to go, Line.
With time. Pass caught by Lionel Manuel. Manuel inside the 15 to about the 13. Stopped finally by Downs. Gain of 35.
Well, that's one thing Phil Sims last night felt very confident. He said if he can get the time, and again, we'll watch the protection first. You see the blitz coming up the middle. Good protection. They give him time. He can get back there. He can look. He can set up. And then he can throw to Lionel Manuel. And he said that's what he wants to do. Lionel Manuel against Everson Walls.
Manuel gets stronger, quicker, and more confident every week. Right now, one of the best. Carthon in motion. Handoff Morris. Morris hammers down inside the 10 to about the 8. Gain of 7.
Yeah, Joe Morris was saying that he likes it a lot better when they have two backs in there. The Giants started having two tight ends, Bavaro and Zeke Mowat, and he said he likes it a lot better when Carthon is in there. He said Carthon isn't one of those guys that's real big or strong. He said he's like a street football player. He comes in and just plays football.
2nd and 3. Tom Landry also said that's the formation they fear most. Morris again. To about the 4. Stopped by Lockhart. Gain of 2.
You know, one thing, they had two tight ends in there when they had Bavaro and Mowat, but they weren't getting a lot of production out of either one.
Doug Riesenberg.
This is a Giants short yardage offense.
Morris 8 carries for 47 yards. Otis Anderson in now in place of Morris. He gets a little bit of a rest. 3rd and 1. Mowat moves. Anderson. Touchdown. However, there's a flag on the play.
Tell that by the look of the head coach. When those eyes get bigger, you know it's a penalty and it's against them. And you talk about something that kills you. You know, they've always had problems with the Cowboys and the mistakes they make. Here they score a touchdown.
Number 89, offense.
Bavaro. Giants have been penalized today 3 times for 29 yards.
But boy, did they lose a lot on that, Pat. Not only the touchdown, but they lost the 3rd and short. They didn't have to score. They could have gotten a 1st down. Now they're going to be in 3rd and long. Let's watch Bavaro. He's right here in the end, right here. You see, he gets his left hand up there outside the plane. I don't know. I guess that's holding, but boy, that's awfully picky. You have to keep your hands inside the plane of the defensive guy. He really didn't hold him. He just had his left hand outside him.
An unsure Phil Simms calls a Giant timeout.
Here's the fullback, Maurice Carthon. Now you watch, he's not really the runner. He's the guy, the reason Joe Morris likes him is right here. He has to take on the middle linebacker. The middle linebacker has to make a play in a short yardage. And look how Carthon takes out Lockhart.
Now those, John, are the eyes of a blocker, a fullback.
Those are the eyes and the legs and the whole face of a blocker. And those are the things you don't see in stats. You know, it doesn't go into any statistic that the Giants got a touchdown because Carthon blocked Lockhart.
Just to bring you up to date on what happened in the American League East today in the pennant race, the only one really still alive. That's the way it stands now. Boston in front of Detroit by 5 games, and the Yankees drop another game further back. George Adams standing alongside Simms. Semi rollout, run out, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be out of the end zone. Intended for Mark Ingram, incomplete. Manny Hendricks back on the coverage, and the Giants will have to try for a field goal.
It was good coverage by the Cowboys and Manny Hendricks because Phil Simms had the time. He just didn't have anyone open, so he threw that ball away. So if Allegre makes this, the Giants lost 4 points because of the penalty.
Allegre, an ex-Cowboy, will try from 32 yards away. Hostetler is the holder. Dallas in front by 1, 3-2. Good. 5-3. I don't think we've ever done a game with a score like that.
That sounds like one of those baseball scores in the American League East.
40 seconds left in the first quarter. Sort of a blessing, John, that the sun has gone behind the clouds now, and it's not quite as hot as it was earlier in the day. Very humid and very hot when we were down on the field before the game.
I think that's something that you're probably not going to see in the first half, the effects of it. I think when you see that is the fourth quarter. And we were talking to Tom Landry. He says this year the Cowboy offense is going to be a conservative offense, and we hope to wear them down and win close games in the fourth quarter. I think it's ironic that Herschel Walker hasn't done much yet.
Maybe he might if his philosophy comes true, if they do wear him down, because Herschel said, as did Joe Morris, I feel that I get stronger the more I get the ball and the more the game wears on.
And the defense gets a little slower. And then, as Herschel said, the defense always comes out early in the game. They come out of the locker room, they're all fired up. They're ready to stop you. He said there'll be 8 or 9 guys when you run the ball. He said in the second half, they forget all that rah-rah stuff, and then not as many of them get there.
Like ready to kick off to Clack. To Kelvin Martin. It's going to be Clack again, just about in the same spot. He's going to come out this time. Cut down at the 10 by Mark Collins.
Hey, Mark Collins right now is one of the best players on this Giant defense.
Forget what happened last week.
Well, you forget. I mean, he does so many things. He shuts his guy out all the time. A lot of times they did get a big play against him, but he'll be on coverage teams. He comes down. He does everything. I mean, he's a complete player.
Collins is already there. First down. Cowboys at their own 11. Steve Pallure, the quarterback. Handoff, Walker. Flag on the play. Picked up only 1.
Hey, that'll make a conservative game out of it when you get penalties every time, and then you get those long yardage situations. Guarantee if you want to be a conservative person, this is where you're going to be conservative.
Pat Haggerty.
Holding, 68, offense, decline, second down.
Decline the penalty on call against Crawford Kerr. That was Kevin Sweeney signaling in the plays to Steve Pallure. 2nd and 9.
I don't know. I'm a little surprised. That would have been half the distance to the goal line. The Giants decided to turn down the penalty. I always like to back them up as far as I could.
Pallure. Across the field to Walker. Away from 1 and out of bounds at the 25. It should be enough for a first. They should have backed him up.
Well, that's the reason right there. 2nd and 9, when you're inside the 10, outside the 10, it's still a passing down. When you get a 1st and 15 like on the 5, I would bet that they would go to the conservative run approach.
They got the first down out to the 25. 1 second left to play in the first quarter. Suns back out at Texas Stadium. Walker. Carson and Kennard stopped Herschel. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Giants 5. Live at Texas Stadium. The end of 1 quarter. Giants lead 5-3. It'll be 2nd and 1 as we begin. Here's Johnny Cooks, the new acquisition just last week for the Giants. Picked up from Indianapolis. 2nd and 1. Walker and Newsom behind Pallure. Irvin in motion. Walker. First down and more. Gain of 7. Leonard Marshall's the first man to hit it, but you need some help with him.
Well, they got help from Johnny Cooks real late. He came diving over the pile. You see him come soaring in here? Watch 98. He gets some penetration up on top. Now watch him. He's going to come diving right in the middle of the picture, 98. There he goes. Whoa! Let me get some guys. He said, I kind of like this NFC. They run a lot more in here.
1st and 10. Pallure will throw. Here comes Cooks. Pallure to Irvin. And he got it. What a good catch. Mark Collins on the coverage. Flag on the play.
How Pallur threw that one, I have no idea. As you said, Cooks came on a stunt right up the middle. The Cowboys didn't block him, and he hit Pallur just as he threw the ball. You wonder how he could have anything on it to get the ball deep. Watch 98, right there in the middle. They don't block him. He comes right out. Pallur couldn't follow through.
Defense.
Late hit called against Collins. This is a heck of a catch by Irvin.
I think if they had to do it, had to be the left hand there to the head, Pat. Watch him here. He's all right. Now watch the left hand to the head. To the neck.
That had to be what it was. First down, Dallas at the Giant 11.
One thing that Michael Irvin, he'll draw some penalties. Remember in the Monday night game?
Yeah.
The Cardinals had a big penalty hitting him late. You know, because he's one of those guys that talks all the time. And maybe that's an advantage. Maybe you can not only catch deep passes, but you can taunt the other guys into 15-yard penalty.
And make them mad. 3 tight ends. And Cosby on the move. Pallur. That's to Walker. Walker to the 5 and a flag on the play. Got 5. Kenny Hill made the stop.
This is a dangerous game. It seems like the closer they get to the goal line, the more of those yellow things come flying out.
Cosby was in motion. That's going to be the penalty.
Illegal motion. Number 66.
No.
Offense.
Kevin Gogan, the offensive right tackle, was moving. Along with Cosby, I guess.
Here's Gogan. He's right there, the right tackle. He started to pull. He had to pull to the left, and he knew that he had to get all the way around that other corner, so he just started a little early.
That'll make it first and 15 at the 16. 5-3 the score. Giants leading Dallas. Walker is the man in motion this time. Pallur back to throw quickly. Pass complete to Michael Irvin in front of Collins this time. Pallur threw it quickly.
I think Irvin's going to be one of the good wide receivers in this league. You know, he's only a rookie. He's only playing his 3rd regular season game. But the guy has a combination of good hands, good moves, and you just get the feeling that he understands the game of football.
Well, they gave him Drew Pearson's old number, so you know, other than drafting him number 1, they thought a lot of it.
He said the toughest part is the 4th quarter. He said when he was at the University of Miami, he was always sitting on the bench drinking Gatorade in the 4th quarter.
Because they were always ahead. Now they got to play. Here's Pallur with time. Incomplete. Intended for Cosby. Like it might have slipped out of Pallur's hand.
That Pepper Johnson had good coverage. He was right on Doug Cosby. Pepper looks like he's limping a little in there. Watch 52, Pepper Johnson. He has real good coverage. He's right there with him, gets his hand in there, puts him to the ground. It's the thing you don't always see linebackers, but a lot of them will make a team or not make a team, not by the way they tackle, but by the way they pass coverage.
And in Pepper Johnson's case, very valuable on special teams as well. 3rd and 10. Pallur looking in zone. Incomplete, intended for Cosby again. Covered by Kenny Hill.
Both these teams, you know, have trouble the closer they get to the goal line today. You know, and it's been penalties too. And then they get in that long yardage situation, and the defense will just rise to the occasion. And I guess when you have a 3-2 game, that's kind of a 5-3 game. That's what you expect.
We're about to have a 6-5 game, looks like. Allegre has never missed in this stadium. Pallur will hold. 28 yards away he is. Well, now he has missed in this stadium. He pushed that one. So it remains with 12 12:44 left to play in the first half. Giants 5, Cowboys 3. Just late. The score is Giants 5, the Cowboys 3. Dallas safety on the opening kickoff. Giants scored a touchdown, 5-yard run by Otis Anderson. Penalty cost them that one, so that's why the score remains what it does with 12:44 left to play in the first half. We're at Texas Stadium. Both teams 1-1. Redskins have already won. Here's Sims back to throw. And just throws it away. Intended for Bavaro, who's covered by Michael Downs.
You know, one of the problems you have when you play the Cowboys is that Tall and Brooks are so big that you have problems throwing to this side. You watch as they get this. Now, as Sims comes back here, he has to try and somehow get the ball between these guys as they get up the field on him. Now, watch Tall up there. Although there's no sack involved, watch how he has to guide that ball between that lane.
Almost sidearm.
Almost sidearm, and I think that's why it went high, too.
This is Morris, chased by Bates, and hit by Wall.
You know, Joe Morris, as you look at him there, and again, you always wonder, how does a guy that size have so much power? He works on it all year. In fact, he squats. You know, that's where you put the weight on your shoulders, and then you go all the way down in a full squat, 600 pounds.
Amazing. And he doesn't, until you see him not in a uniform. In street, well, most guys look bigger in a uniform. He looks bigger in regular clothes. Sims, outside complete to Lionel Manuel. Gain of 11, stopped by Williams.
Yeah, there could be something to that. Sims had trouble throwing to the right, getting the ball around and through Tall and Brooks, so now he just puts Manuel over in the left, and he said, let's try it over on this side and see if I can get more of a lane. And he does. That's not a bad matchup there, putting Lionel Manuel against Robert Williams, a rookie corner.
He was not a cornerback at college. He was an offensive back. Manuel split to the right this time, and Morris the ball carrier. Down, struck it out. And Ron Burton with the assist.
One thing that's tough to run, that's one of the reasons it's tough to run against the Cowboys, is they get their safeties up there, either Downs or Bates, so quickly. So once you get this, and you see once he comes up into this box, now you come into an 8-man front, and you only have 7 to block. Now watch as Downs gets up there. That gives the Cowboys 8 men on the line, and you just can't get that block. There has to be a free guy.
Otis Anderson in the backfield. That's Carthon in motion, coming back this way now. Sims back to throw. Has time. Had a receiver. Mark Ingram. Situation substitution. One of football's new terms the last couple of years, and here they come from the Cowboy side. Randy White and Gary Cobb. And the Giants bring in Stephen Baker and George Adams. And Mowat.
The Cowboys defense, they go to what they call a 4-0. In this case, they do have 1 linebacker in there, 4 defensive linemen, 6 defensive backs.
Including Billy Owens and Manny Hendricks. Sims. Here comes a Dallas blitz. Sims buried, but he still gets rid of it. That'll be enough for a first down. Again, it's Lionel Manuel. Gain of 14.
I think it's interesting the Giants throwing to the left now. I think it's that same reason it has to be. It's not that the coverage is that much different over on Sims's right side. You watch him here. He's looking to left all the way. And you see why? Because he has better lanes. Although Randy White dunked him after he threw the ball, but he has better passing lanes to his left than he has to his right.
Simply because those guys on that side just aren't as tall. Too tall and too big on the right side.
Equal of Forrest.
Manuel's caught free. Morris into Dallas territory to their 48. Picked up 6, stopped by Danny Noonan. About that, Atlanta over San Francisco at Candlestick. Cheryl Riggs scored the Atlanta touchdown. The Rams 10-0 over the Raiders in the second. This time Manuel comes right, covered by Wall, 2nd and 4. Morris, too tall. Smothered him. He's only a foot taller.
See, that was the play. Remember the year that the Giants went to the Super Bowl? This was their big play, running Joe Morris to the right on that delay type of thing. Watch Too Tall take on Elliott here. See, he doesn't get any movement on him. He starts to, Too Tall changes directions on him and gets back in the hole.
Amazing thing about that guy, number 72, 14 years, you said, he hasn't missed a game or a practice.
That is amazing. Remember, he took the 1 year off to become a fighter, but other than that, he's never had that injury. You wonder how you can play that long and not get hurt.
Gets that at one and it's picked off. He's done it again. Williams, the interception. Too Tall got the hand on it.
Sims is saying I should have stayed on that left side. I was having better passing lanes over there. Williams gets the handshake, but Too Tall is the guy that causes it. Watch him here in the left of the screen. Coming up. Now watch him. He just gets that left hand up there and knocks the ball down. And there's Williams.
So Dallas takes over at their own 47-yard line. 8:17 left to play in the first half.
What he does is every time they've thrown to him, he's lined up over there. Otherwise, the runner plays over here. The only 2 times he's been over there, the 2 times they threw to him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Other time he's been up the top.
Yeah, but when was the game that he batted 2 and Jeff Coates scored on him? Was that 2 touchdowns they did that?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that the last?
It was not the same game. It wasn't even the same year. It was 2 years, like 2 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, but was one last? When were
one
those?
One was last
2?
year, and one was 3 years ago, I think.
85 and 87.
I think.
He lost one center. He lost one center snap up there too. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
This is just if you're a New York fan. If you're a Cowboy fan, it's good defense, right?
Phil Simms just had the ball deflected by Ed Jones, his first interception in 151 attempts. Steve Pallor, the Dallas quarterback. The Cowboys take over their own 48. Herschel Walker is split wide right. Pallor under heavy pressure from Johnny Cooks again. Had to throw it away.
I tell you, Cooks just got here, but if he continues to be the pass rusher, this may be what the Giants need. Here's Cooks. They're going to come here. He comes on a stunt right up the middle, and that's the 2nd time that he's gotten to Pallor just as he throws the ball. Watch him. He starts up, then he comes inside and zeroes in on that quarterback. Of course, the Giants are playing without Lawrence Taylor, and they need that pass rusher from linebacker, and they think they might have it in this guy.
2nd and 10. Mark Tuine, who starts at left tackle for Dallas, is out with a twisted knee. Lure back to Walker. Nothing there, although Herschel still fights. Kenny Hill, the first man to hit him, lost it to Darrell Smith, has taken Tuine's place at offensive left tackle.
One thing, Carl Banks got in on that play sideways. You see him? He was in there. They were covering him. Banks got all turned around. He's up on top there. Watch him. You have to do anything you can when it gets hot and heavy in there. Watch him. He's in there sideways blocking him. But he plugged that hole. You plug it with the front of the body, your back of the body, or the side of your body. What's the difference?
Whatever it takes. 3rd and 12. Two wide receivers to the right. Valor out of the spread. Pass is caught. Michael Irvin about a yard short of a first down, and he drew a crowd in a hurry.
Well, and Andy Hedden is the guy that hit him and stopped him from getting the first down. It'll be an interesting decision for Tom Landry now.
Well, it's not going to take him long because he's already got Mike Saxon on the field. Giants 5, Cowboys 3.
You know, for the Giants, that was a big play by Hedden because Irvin had a first down there had he been able to fall forward. By Hedden hustling back there and making that hit, that knocked him off.
Bill McConkey, as you can see, obviously having difficulty looking right into the sun. Now, there's a new rule that could come into effect here. If he shades his eyes, and it could be misinterpreted as a fair catch signal. Saxon's kick is a high one. McConkey's going to let it go. Cowboys bat it back. The Giants finally pick it up, and they lost it. Now they have it again. And now they lost it again. Gary Reasons is the Giant who wound up with it.
The offensive or the coverage team can't touch the ball. If it touches the offensive guy and then goes off him, then it's a live ball, and the kicking team can recover it. This has to be a conference.
Ron Burton finally recovered the fumble for the Cowboys. It was Charles Wright that batted the ball back right at the goal line.
Now, Wright is number 41. He bats the ball back. Now it hits the Cowboy. Now, if it hits a Giant player, it becomes a live ball. Right there, now it's a live ball. Now it's a fumble.
And Reasons is the first Giant to hit it. And now he lost it. And it comes up in the hands of Burton. Just took it away from him.
Well, that has to be the Cowboys' ball.
They're reviewing without question.
Well, there's one official that doesn't have a hat in there. He threw his hat to mark the spot of the penalty. I mean, the spot of the fumble. Boy, we got a lot of stuff here. We got bats and fumbles and everything. See here, that's where the Giants have to do something. Now the Giants have the ball. So now when they get hit, it's going to be a fumble. As he gets hit, the Cowboys just take the ball away from him. That has to be Cowboy ball.
Burton comes out of there with it, no question about it. The Giants, however, have their offensive unit on the field, and Dallas has their defense on the field.
Well, you saw Reasons as he came out of that pile. He didn't have the ball. He went into it with a ball and came out of it without.
That sounds like it should belong to the folks in white.
This one, to me, there has to be the Cowboy ball or one of those back-out things they call inconclusive, which I don't see how it could be inconclusive.
Here comes Sims over to the sideline. They are indeed reviewing. It's worth a review.
The replay official is Armin Terzian. The guy we just saw up there with the glasses right there, that's Armin Terzian. You remember him? He was the guy that got hit in the head with the bottle in Minnesota that year.
Yeah. That was after the Hail Mary pass, wasn't it?
Right. And I don't know what the review is.
We may have to Hail Mary again. Here's the bat.
Well, the only thing that could be, I mean, if he were on the line, then the ball could be in the end zone, and it would be the Giants' ball in the 20.
Observation by the replay official. The play will stand as ruled, 1st and 10 on the 19.
Not popular.
The only thing that I could see there is they said when they batted the ball that they were on the line, but I don't think they called that.
No, I don't think so either.
Because then the ball would have to be on the 20.
Right.
Which is where it just happened to be, but it's short. So I would think they had to say it wasn't a fumble. Yeah, the fans are booing that one. I understand why.
They have to say that Reasons was down when Burton came up with the ball. This is Morris. There's no place to go. Jim Jetcoat, the first man there.
That's one thing that will always kill the running game is any penetration by the defense, and that's what Jeffcoat did.
Little extra dance step. 2nd and 11. The Giants 5, the Cowboys 3. Lionel Manuel to the left. Hand off to Morris. Morris hammers almost for a Giant first down. Stopped by Bates and down. Pick up of 10. They lost 1 on the first down, so it should be a yard short. It's going to be close.
That's the thing. You come into this game and you would think that the Giants would pass and the Cowboys would be the running, and lo and behold, in the first half, it's the Giants and Joe Morris doing the running.
Morris got the first down. He's got 66 yards. The Cowboys, with all the notoriety and ballyhoo about Herschel Walker, only have 9.
You would think if you said one's going to have 66 and one's going to have 9, guess who before the game? It would have been the opposite guess.
Manuel comes right, Ingram is left. They go on a quick count, and it's Morris again.
Good block.
5 downs, Lockhart and Bates. '49ers in trouble against Atlanta. They were 2-0 after coming out of 2 road thrilling victories. 2nd and 3. 4:04 left to play in the first half. Anderson has replaced Morris. That's Anderson. Flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. Danny Noonan on the stop. Anderson got 4.
Well, we've had a lot of penalties in this first half. You notice that? We may be going after some record.
Ball start, number 68, offense.
Damian Johnson just got information that Steve Largent, the Seattle Seahawks, has become the all-time reception yardage leader with 12,148 yards. That's a lot.
When you think of the great players in the NFL, Steve Largent is one of them. And I think people tend to forget him. Maybe it's because they're up there in Seattle or whatever, but he's one of the all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer.
Without question. Anderson breaks a couple tacklers and gets out of bounds. Gain 7. 2 Cowboys hit O.J. and he kept going.
A lot of people had Otis Anderson cut this year. They thought that there's no way that he would make it. People cut the teams. He will be. And then he comes to training camp, and of all the running backs in Giant training camp, Otis Anderson comes out with the best training camp. And then here he is. I think other than Joe Morris, Otis Anderson was probably the 2nd guy on Bill Parcells' list of running backs.
He had so many outstanding years with the Cardinals. First down. 3:40 left to play in the first half. It's the Giants 5, the Cowboys 3. First and 10, the ball at the 40.
As we look at these things, the thing that surprises me is that, again, the Cowboys only rushed for 9 yards, but I get the feeling this first half, Matt, is just a sparring session, that the real game is going to be in the second half, and maybe the whole thing will just boil down to that fourth quarter.
Manuel wide left. Navarro in motion. Anderson by Brooks. And Cardinal Jackson this time, and another penalty on the play. Against the Giants.
'65 offense, holding, still first down.
Bart Oates.
See him right there. He has the left hand, I think, is okay. And again, it's the right hand which is outside the plane. If you keep your hands inside, they usually let you get away with anything. It's once you get them outside that they call it.
Too tall, Jones. Again, stopping Otis Anderson. We talked at the beginning of the show today about the miscues and misfortune that the Giants have had in Texas Stadium. One quarterback sack today, 6 penalties for 55 yards, 1 touchdown called back because of a penalty, and then 2 drop passes. One of them was a big one.
And of course they had that batted pass too. But I think that's one thing, that the Giants have had some bad luck. But to me, as I watch this, the Cowboy defense is making that happen.
Playing very well. You're right. Here's Sims. Trying to set up the screen. Got no place to go. Finally sidearms to Manuel. Covered by Wall. Threw it away. And another flag. Might have been that when they were setting up the screen and Sims had no place to go, one of the offensive linemen got downfield.
An eligible man downfield on the offense.
That's exactly what it was, because there was no one open. He couldn't throw the screen. He used Lionel Manuel as an outlet, but while he was looking for Manuel, then the offensive lineman is downfield, which really isn't his fault.
Billy Ard, I believe.
Because you expect the thing to be thrown. You see, you come out there was no one open to Sims's left. So now during this time, the offensive line gets downfield as he looks for the outlet. I mean, that wasn't Ard's fault. You can't look behind you. That's just a timing thing.
Sure.
Again, good defense. No one open on the screens. Make Sims scramble, and that's going to happen.
Well, you don't look back. You just count. You go in an imaginary count, and when that count comes, when the time comes, you go downfield. Third down. Sims out of the pocket. Down the sidelines, Emmanuel. He backed out of bounds. That won't be enough for a first.
You know, that's one way to throw to the right, although it wasn't enough for a first down. The Giants don't do a lot of that, but that was an organized scramble. Sims got the ball and then moved that to the right, had the blocker in front of him. If you can't throw it over or around that side, maybe the way to do is to try and get outside of it.
Kelvin Martin back. Signals fair catch at his own 14-yard line, where the Cowboys will take over. 2:17 left to play in the first half. Dallas has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The Giants have only 1.
With all those big linemen, their shirt tails were out, and they looked like they were awfully tired.
Well, they're coming back now. CBS Sports coverage of NFL football will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
I want to know how they did.
Dallas total yards, Herschel Walker has only 35. That's running and receiving.
Yeah, where they got their big yardage in the first half was rookie Michael Irvin. He's caught 4 passes for 76 yards. And I bet they turned that thing around in the second half with Herschel running the ball for a lot more yards.
5-3 as you look at Bill Sims' passing statistics, 6 out of 14. He hadn't had a lot of time. Dallas has 2 sacks.
And he's trying to get the ball to Lionel Manuel. Of those 6, he completed 4 of them for 73 yards to Lionel Manuel.
Roger Ruzick took a divot on the kickoff. Ball's loose. Giants had it. Mark Ingram came flying out of the end zone. I guess you can't take a divot out of artificial turf.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you can if you don't go to training camp. That was almost an onside kick. You know, if the Giants, they have to catch this. This isn't like a punt. That's a live ball. If they don't get it, if the Cowboys get back there and they get it right there, had Bill Bates gotten it, it would have been their ball.
Todd Fowler had a hand on it. First down, Giants at their own 26-yard line. They lead by 2 points, 5-3. Sims on first down. Gets it out to Manuel, who breaks away from a couple of Dallas tacklers. Flag is down. Gain of 17. Eugene Lockhart finally kept him down.
Looks like it's going to be on Gary Cobb. Again, in the first half, Sims had great success with Manuel 4 times. That's the 5th pass.
Unnecessary roughness, number 59, defense.
Gary Cobb, who came to the Cowboys from the Philadelphia Eagles.
And we see Manuel again working out here in the left. He got Williams all the way turned around and running backwards. And the penalty is right here. He's down, the whistle, and comes in and hits him in the back. Gary Cobb does. Look, he tries to pick him up to try and get away from the penalty.
Manuel 5 catches for 90 yards. First and 10 Giants at the Cowboy 42. Pitch back tomorrow. Flag is down again. 2 flags down. Got to be a face mask against Bill Bates. Haven't had any reports from either bench about any sort of dehydration.
5-yard face mask, defense.
Or any problems with the heat, John, which is encouraging.
But I bet if they do, they're going to be in the 4th quarter anyway. You see Bates here coming up.
Number 40,
makes a good play, and he grabbed the face mask initially. Dick Nolan was saying about Bill Bates, he said he doesn't hear the whistle. He gets a lot of those late hits. He said, I'm trying to calm him down. He said his problem is he hears bells.
That could be a bad sign.
Well, he thinks a bell has to stop the action. He thinks this is a fight out there.
Or a wedding. Sims to Morris again. He hammers inside the Dallas 30. Stopped by Kevin Brooks, a gain of 4. Should be enough for a first.
You can see how important these safeties are, Michael Downs and Bill Bates, to that running game or stopping the running game. That's how they play 8. On the first down play, it was Bates who was up in the line of scrimmage. Now it's Downs. Watch him. He starts here. When the ball gets here, Downs is going to be right in the hole. See, they read it like a linebacker. Now watch, he's right up there, and that gives him the 8th guy in the line.
Manuel to the left. Sims looking. Missing this time. Eugene Lockhart back on the coverage in a hurry. That was when he first came up, Lockhart, Eugene the hitting machine. The rap against him was he couldn't get involved and wasn't being involved enough in pass coverage. But he looks like he's corrected that.
Here, he broke his leg last year and had to rehabilitate. Started feeling sorry for himself, so the guys were telling him, you know, take no pity. So anyway, that's his motto now, no pity. In fact, he has it written on his shoe.
No pity. Second and 10 from the 29. Sims, and here comes the blitz. Pass picked off by Bates. Bates is down. And down as a result of contact. There is also a penalty marker down. Now they're saying no penalty. That's going to be Dallas ball. Excuse me, John.
I was just saying, that was that backside pass rush against Bates. Comes up with the ball, but it was a pass rush at Gary Cobb, and he's going to hit Sims from the backside just as he's throwing it. Watch as Sims throws it. There's number 59. and he hits him. Now that takes everything off the velocity of the ball.
So with 13 and a half minutes left to play, third quarter, it's still the Giants 5, Dallas 3.
Well, let's show the whole thing and see. No, I mean the whole thing of the block.
No, he never touched it.
Well, he should have been able to get up. No, why can't he get up?
Anyone to block him?
No, they didn't, did they?
Yeah, let's see the end of. Well, he's going out for a pass, I would think. See what happens here. Does he come?
What takes him in here is when he comes in.
No, but Lockhart does. So he has to pick him up. So that frees him.
I've got a feeling.
Is that Morris?
That's picking up?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Huh? Who is that?
I think it might be Anderson. He wasn't running through.
But Pat, this whole group blocks here because Lockhart comes, the back takes him. Now there's no one for this guy Gary Cobb to come from the backside. See, the middle linebacker comes, the center blocks right. Now that leaves the outside linebacker free.
Cowboys back at their own 2-yard line, and the handoff is to Walker. Walker gets him some room out to the 8. Harry Carson and Kenny Hill finally brought him down, but a pickup of 6.
That was a big play. It doesn't always look like a lot, but if you're inside the 5 and you have to punt, your punter doesn't have his normal 15 yards. By getting it out, that's your first goal. Get it out away from the 5-yard line. Now, if you have to punt, your punter has his normal distance.
Second down then, and 4. Walker gains 6. Valor still the quarterback, has Cosby in motion. He gives it again to Walker. He gets to about the 10. Picked up 2. Jim Burton.
You know, that's what the Cowboys are talking about at halftime. About, okay, let's make this second half Herschel's. So again, that's a pretty good idea, but if you're going to do that offensively, you have to have success doing it. You can't come up with a lot of third downs if you're running on first and second.
You got to get that nose tackle block too.
That's a big thing. You can't play a 3-man line and not get the nose tackle block and make big yardage.
Third down and 2. 3 tight end set up now. Again to Walker. And Walker has the Dallas first down. Kenny Hill was the first to hit him. Picked up 6.
It's always interesting in the third quarter as the teams come out. You can tell what they talked about, you know, and you can see because that's going to. The first half is their original game plan they worked on all week. The second half are their adjustments that they made at halftime.
They say, hey, what we did, this part of it's not working, so here's what we're going to do. And those, I think, are the marks of what makes an outstanding coach. One who can adjust. Valor. For Michael Irvin, who I think broke it off. How much does Herschel Walker mean?
Yeah, this is their total offense on the first 2 games. And you can see the hunk of the pie that he took out. He rushed for 228 yards, caught another 78 yards worth, and his hunk of the pie totals 40% of the offense. Now, he hasn't done that in the first half, and I bet he's going to be at least 40% by the time the day's over.
Second down and 10. Valor under pressure. Gets it out to Newsom, who's got some room. Jimmy Newsom to the 25. About a yard shy of a first down. Perry Williams made the stop. Leonard Marshall put the pressure on Valor again.
The Giants are tackling a lot better today. Last week against the 49ers, that was one of their big problems. They didn't tackle well. The first half of this game, they've tackled much better than they did a week ago.
Bill Parcells was telling us yesterday that that's one of the things during practice this week that they worked on, was improving their tackling. By the way, he wanted me to say happy birthday to his wife, Judy. It took place earlier this week, so you know he's thinking of you. Here's Walker. Walker outside the 40.
That's why they pay him a lot of money. They need fans here. They got to put some people in these seats. They need someone that can excite them. And this is the guy that can do it. He was really dormant the first half. I'll tell you, he's a guy who gets stronger as the game goes on. And I bet there's going to get a big, big dose of Herschel Walker this second half.
Tom Landry said during the week, Tom, by the way, had a birthday last week as well, but he said, as long as I've been around the game, I'd buy a ticket to see this guy run. Jim Burke again on the stop of Walker. Now for an NFL update, let's send you again to Brent Musburger. Here. Giants leading. Walker had 21 yards rushing in the first half. He already has 30 in this half. Second down now. And 10. Dallas at the 41. Irvin in motion. Giants showing blitz. Ballure uncomfortable with what he's looking at. And calls a timeout. With 8:56 left to play in the third quarter at Texas Stadium, it remains the Giants by 2 points.
Nah, that shouldn't do it.
Again next Saturday here on CBS, live at 2:30 Eastern Time. Tennessee against the 6th-ranked Auburn Tigers, who had over 600 yards, in fact 680 to be exact, against Kansas yesterday. Second and 10 here. Giants again go into a defensive shift. That's what calls the last timeout. That in the 30-second clock. Now it's Thornton Chandler in motion. Ballure in the pocket. Gets it to Irvin, who gets to the Giant 42. Harry Williams on the coverage. Irvin looks like he's going to be something special.
That's what kind of game it is. It's Irvin on one side and Manuel on the other side. He comes off a hold and everything on that. I mean, he really got pushed and pulled and knocked around before he ever caught that ball. Perry Williams dodged a bullet by not getting called for something on that.
Irvin shaken up just a bit. Has 5 receptions. First and 10 Dallas. Ballure on first down. Back to throw. Rolls it out to Newsom. Collision between Mark Collins and Newsom. Like something you might see when the Bulls run in Pamplona.
I know, and Collins came off that thing. He hit it, bounced back, and came up and still made the tackle. That was some play.
Still checking on Irvin over on the sideline. Second and 6. Newsom has 5 catches for 57 yards. Second out, Dallas at the Giant 39. Giants showing the blitz, an outside blitz. Don't do it. Don't need to. Jim Burke again.
Hey, Jim Burke's having a good game this second half. You got to get that guy blocked. And again, you watch Burt here. If you can keep him on or get him going back, that's okay. But if he gets on this side of the ball, you don't have a chance to run. Now watch Burt. He just hits that gap right away. He's in the backfield, and no one, I don't care who you are, you can't run the ball. I have no idea what the center was doing on that play.
And this center, Rafferty, took off for one of the linebackers and left Burt just free.
I'd like to come back and play like that.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, let's think about it. Here's Plur. Newsom again. Incomplete. Carl Banks back there with Newsom. And here comes Saxon.
I tell you, watch the Cowboys dodge a bullet here. Pepper Johnson's going to come. Watch this takedown right about here. This is an all-pro mid-season takedown. Watch Pepper Johnson comes. He just takes him right to the ground. He can't get to Plur, although he rolls to him. But the officials missed that one. Woo!
McConkey back deep for the Giants. Saxon to punt for Dallas. 6.5 minutes left to play third quarter. McConkey waves, signals fair catch, and makes it. At about the 13. 28-yard punt. 6 minutes, 24 seconds left to play third quarter at Texas Stadium. Giants 5, Dallas 3.
I wonder what they were. I'd like to hear what they were talking about.
It would be
McConkey and Bates. What are they on Walker? Bob, why don't you just have one of those guys talk to their bench just to see if it's getting hotter or cooler down there? No, I know it. No, I don't. Yeah.
Michael Irvin. Bruised knee. You overturned.
Okay. That's a good shot. Who's? I bet if you let me see the rest of the. No, I can look myself.
Here's a look at all the other games. Bears, Green Bay, Atlanta, Dallas, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Tampa Bay against New Orleans. Starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And then the doubleheader games, Rams, Giants in New York. The Meadowlands, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington at Phoenix. First down, Giants. Sims back to throw. Gets it to Bavaro. Up the middle. Bavaro. Out to the 44. His first catch today, finally taken down by Eugene Lockhart and Michael Down.
Heck of a throw by Phil Sims here to 2 to find Bavaro. Watch again from his backside. Jim Jeffcoat, number 77. Just as he throws the ball, Bavaro was wide open, bobbled it, made a big play for the Giants. I tell you, Phil Sims, you know, when you talk about tough guys in this league, you think of nose tackles, linebackers, goofy eyes. This guy's one of the tough guys.
Otis Anderson and Maurice Carthon on the Giant backs. Sims back again to throw. Outside Manuel. In front of Robert Williams. Complete, and he's out of bounds. They move back into Giant territory. A pickup of 18.
You know, one thing coming into this game, you see the guys that Phil Sims has thrown to, 6 completions to the wide receivers, 2 to the running backs, and that one Bavaro was 1, well, must be 2 to the tight ends now. But you can see they come in here with this game that they were going to throw to their wide receivers.
And they're doing a lot of their throwing on first down. Morris is back in the backfield. And they're running on first down. Lockhart Morris. With an assist from Gary Cobb. He got 2 yards.
You know, two things happen in a hot day. One, the offensive linemen, their shirts start coming out of their jerseys. You see that? They start walking around. And if you're a heavy guy, one of the toughest things you have to do is keep your shirt tail tucked in. The other, I mean, I've always wanted to get, all my life, I've had an objective to get to a point where my shirt tail would stay in. And the other smart guy is you get by the fan. There's only 2 fans there, and you get as close as you can to it and face it.
Downs up faking blitz, and he comes and sends down the middle for Ingram. Flags all over the place. Pass was incomplete, covered by Walls, who had him man-to-man all over because they came with an all-out blitz.
You know you're going to get single coverage right now away from Manuel.
Defensive pass interference, number 24.
On Walls.
Manuel's on the left side. That's Mark Ingram on the right side. See him the right side here. As Sims looks back, he takes a little peek. Again, he's getting a big pass rush. Hit just as he throws it. Throws it a little up front. And whatever Walls did, he had to do before he came into the picture.
Walls had the man-to-man coverage. The Giants think that if the Cowboys can get you blitzing with that all-out blitz like that, they'll keep coming. But if you burn them a couple of times, they'll stop. Sims to Morris. No place for him. Jeffcoat. Maybe a yard, maybe 2. No more, certainly. But they're in field goal range.
And that's the type of game this is. There's Ernie Staunton here. He's calling the defenses for the Cowboys. Mixing them up. He's going 3-man line. He's going 4-man line. He's trying everything. You know, blitzes, bringing the safeties, bringing the linebackers, giving the Giants a different look every play.
Clock running now with 4:15 remaining, 3rd quarter. They show blitz again. They do blitz again. Sims hit from behind. The ball's on the ground. The ball loose. This is Otis Anderson with it. Sims was hammered from behind. And he got up. The man who did the hitting has not gotten up.
Well, again, what's happened is the Cowboys are bringing guys up the middle, and the Giants are blocking the middle. Watch this. They'll come here in the middle. They get this block, but the guy they leave free is this outside guy coming on Sims's backside again. Watch him. See, they pinch the middle down, but there's no one left to block Gary Cobb again. So you got to get the middle, but you got to be able to get that outside guy, too.
Otis Anderson wound up with the ball. Lockhart was the Cowboys shaken up. It'll be 3rd and 13 when we come back.
Let me see that one again. Yeah, please. No. Do you have anything wider than that? Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. We should have had, yeah. Let me just see here. Let me just do, you got 1? No, just stop it, please. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I know. Don't get so damn defensive. We're okay. We'll be okay.
Are you really?
See, they got 9. Here's the problem. They got 9 guys here, right? And they only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blockers. 8 blockers. So there's going to be a guy free on that unless you bring one of your ends in. Let's do that. Can we do that, Bob? Huh?
That's a good one.
Well, it may be too. Then it may not make sense.
How tough is that decision? Is it really tough?
You know, Pat, as you look here, The Cowboys have 9 guys up in this box because they only have 2 guys deep. So with that, leaves that has 9 guys, and when you count them across here, you only got 8 guys to block them. 6, 7, 8. So no matter how you block them, when you got 9 on 8, they're going to have 1 guy free. The last time was Gary Cobb who hit Sims from the back. You can't block that.
Impossible. 3rd and 13 for the Giants and Sims. The crowd really starting to get involved now. Sims saying, I can't hear, you can't hear me. 3rd and 13 from the 25. 5 seconds, they get it done. Sims, incomplete, and a flag down. Penalty marker down. Intended for Lionel Manuel, and again it's Walls. I don't know about that one.
Well, from up here, it sure looked like good coverage, didn't it? It was a good throw by Sims. He got that in there. It looked like Walls had him blanketed. That's his 2nd one against Walls on this drive.
Let's have a look.
Well, here's Walls here. Here's Manuel here. It's going to be up and in to this point, and the penalty comes right at the end. And it looked like that Walls had good coverage. You see him, he's going to start there. Manuel starts in. Walls starts in. And unless he had a hand on him that I couldn't see, that looked like good coverage.
1st and goal from the 9. Manuel is the move man this time, and Sims has pressure up the middle from Jones. Had to be some sort of a stunt for him to come up the middle like that.
It was a stunt. You'll see the tackle, Brooks works to the outside. See Jones, he works to the inside. The Giants are trying to zone it, but no one picks up too tall coming up the middle. If Sims can get protection, his ends can get open and catch the ball. The big thing is, can he get the ball off before they get to him?
Otis Anderson now in the backfield with Carthon. 2nd goal from the 9. Sims outside quickly. Ball batted away, deflected by Jim Jeffcoat.
Sims was yelling at Jeffcoat after that. Watch, Jeffcoat is 77. He's coming from the right of the screen. He really gets blocked pretty well. That's good pass protection. You see, William Roberts was on him, blocked him well, and just as Sims went to throw, Jeffcoat jumped up.
Now Noonan goes out, and Randy White comes in. So it's Jeffcoat, White, Jones, and Brooks, the rushers. See if they bring him on 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 9. Hit just as he lets it go. Touchdown, Giants. Great throw by Sims to Lionel Manuel. 9-yard touchdown pass. And he was hammered just as he let it go.
That's why I say Phil Sims is one of the toughest guys in this league. I don't know, he just seems to hang in there, to stand there and wait till that last second. And then how he can find that guy, see that guy, and get open. How you can stand back here, you have to be oblivious to the run. Just stand up and throw the ball no matter what's coming. He does have a favorite target today, though, doesn't he?
Manuel has caught 7 for 118 yards and the only touchdown. Allegre. Extra point is good. The Giants 12, the Cowboys 3. Look at the rush.
You know, Bill Parcells said dollar for dollar, our best investment is Phil Sims on the New York Giants. I think with all the other problems they've had with their stars, with Bavaro holding out, not playing well, and with Carl Banks, Lawrence Taylor on suspension, everything relies on this guy, so he's bringing one other guy with him. He's bringing number 86. He said, just give us some time, and I can go out there and play catch with Lionel Manuel.
8 plays, 86 yards. Kept the ball 3 minutes, 3 seconds. 3 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. 12-3. Lionel Manuel's 3rd touchdown of the year. his 4th 100-yard game against the Cowboys. Phil Simms did seem very confident last night when we talked to him.
He seemed very confident, very aggressive. You know, like he didn't want to play one of those run games. He wanted to drop back and throw it to Lionel Manuel every play.
The ball goes to Mark Higgs, who watches it go out of bounds at about the 1-foot line, it seems.
Well, the official first said it went out of bounds. He threw his flag. Then he picked it up. Well, we got fights with players and the guys holding the flag.
They are saying that Mark Higgs must have touched the ball before it went out of bounds at about the 1-foot line, it seems.
Bill McConkey's one of those guys that'll take on anything as he goes down there. I think he took on a guy holding the down marker. He'll say, where are these guys coming from? They're hitting me from all over, Coach.
Now they're going to bring it out to the 20, I think.
They ought to put pads on that guy. What the heck? Pad him up. Let him go.
They have called it finally a touchback, that it did go into the end zone before it went out of bounds, so they bring it out to the 20. It's an angry person over there.
I know it. That guy there, you know, he's probably there enjoying the game, kind of watching, moving the things along, and lo and behold, here comes the guy. Let's see if we can see it. McConkey's there. He's going out of bounds. He just ran into the guy. Look, knocked him out. Then watch him right there. He picks it up and throws the ball at McConkey. Then McConkey's going after the ball guy.
And takedown.
Now there's a penalty on the play.
Now they bring it out to the 35-yard line. Because it did go out of bounds, apparently. First they said touchback. Now apparently it went out of bounds. To 3. Pallure back to throw. Here comes Johnny Cooks, and Pallure is out of the pocket. Pallure on a scamper to midfield. Harry Carson finally took him down, but Pallure got 15 yards.
This is something, we have that thing going back and forth in the first half. Not a lot of excitement, not a lot of offense, and now we come here in the second half and everything breaks loose. Look at Pallure. He sees that pass rush coming from the backside. He's going to take off.
Word on Michael Irvin, by the way, as he had a bruised knee. He should be back. And he is back. Split wide to the left. Walker has been lined up at tight end and now is back in the backfield. Irvin goes in motion. Back to Walker. Jim Burke. Penalty marker. The rule on that kickoff, by the way, is since the ball did go out of bounds, originally called a touchback, 2 more flags go down on this play. They have the option to take it at the 35, which the Cowboys chose to do. It's a 2-year-old rule.
This has been some game. The officials have been much involved in this game.
Much. And Haggerty's the referee.
Because, you know, on that one down there in that kickoff, first the guy threw it like it was a penalty, which it is if the ball doesn't stay in bounds. Then he picked it up and said it was a touchback. Then they changed it and said that, in fact, it did go out of bounds. So they had a call, a reverse, a call, and a reverse. This guy, Pat Haggerty, the referee there, is one of the best officials in the league, too.
Personal foul, number 58.
Banks.
15-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty.
They walk off 15 against the Giants. So after the smoke clears, it'll be 1st and 10 Dallas at the Giant 32. 2:19 remaining third quarter.
Yeah, when you think of it, that's about 15 yards of penalties if you take the ball on the 1-yard line. And now there's another penalty. Now they're going to go face mask and go again.
Number 54. Personal foul after the play was over. First down.
Call against Andy Hedden. 54. I didn't think he would be back. I think he must be 64.
I don't think there's a 54 out there.
I don't think so either. To Walker. Open. Touchdown. Minutes, 1 second left to play, third quarter, and it's 12-9. Bruzek with Pelur Holding. Extra point is good. 2 minutes, 1 second remain, third quarter, and we have a 2-point game again.
Let's watch Herschel Walker. He gets out there. The Giants are in some kind of rotation, and the safety doesn't get over. Now, Walker lines up in the backfield. He lines up tight end. Here he is as a wide receiver. He just faked out Mark Collins, and the safety couldn't get over there, Kennard. I think that was supposed to be man-to-man on Collins. That was a heck of a move by Herschel Walker.
Really was.
As a wide receiver in the open field.
Started to move inside, then straightened it up. Think about what you were just talking about, John. That ball went out of bounds inside the 1-yard line. They wound up with it at the 35. Then they got 15 more yards for a personal foul and 5 more for a face mask. That's the way to manufacture a drive.
Yeah, it started one time the ball was on the goal line, and next thing we know it's past the midfield. The officials are marking it down. Then they come in and they throw an up to Herschel Walker.
Cincinnati remains unbeaten. Orleans 2-1. Cardinals won their first as the Phoenix Cardinals. Bruzek. Better kick this time. Greg Lasker sees the ball go into the end zone, and this one is a touchback.
You know, it's hard to tell who the good teams in the NFL are. Yeah, I think that's one thing. Since there's no great team or no dominant team, I think this thing is really wide open for any number of teams.
You think back to a year ago this Sunday, we weren't playing. There were no games.
That's right. In the last game before the strike were these two teams. Remember, in New York.
Right.
These two teams played in New York, and the next day the entire league went out on strike.
First and 10 Giants at their own 20. Less than 2 minutes left to play third quarter. Otis Anderson has replaced Joe Barnes. And first down seems to throw pressure again. But he's got Manuel. Robert Williams. Just to update you on the Rams-Raiders at the Coliseum, it is 15-10 Rams now. Mike Lansford just hit a 46-yard field goal. First down Giants here at Texas Stadium, where it's 12-10.
He's getting it from all over on that last play. Bill Bates was right. Look at that, 3 sacks, 7 hurries, 7 knockdowns, 2 batted balls.
Wow.
This has been a long day for Phil Simms.
But as you pointed out, he's hung in there. Here's Morris, who almost fell down and makes something out of nothing. Michael Downs finally stopped him. 10-yard gain for Morris. Just over a minute left in the third quarter now.
Hey, watch a block by John Elliott, the right tackle on Too Tall. He does it here. Here's Elliott. Here's Too Tall. Watch him as he fires out here. Too Tall trying to take that inside gap. But watch Elliott. He gets that hand up there, and with that strength and that body and over 300 pounds, just drives him about 2 holes down. That's what I'm saying. That's not bad for a rookie.
And it's a hot day. Navarro is the man in motion. Here's Morris hit down by Brooks behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, that's that penetration. Brooks lines up next to Too Tall. He got in the backfield, and Morris was trying to make a cutback, and Brooks was there.
Should be the end of the third quarter. That is the end of the third quarter with the score, the Giants 12, the Cowboys 10. We now pause for a word from your local stations.
Bob, when the ball goes out of bounds in a kickoff, that's a penalty. So tell him everyone knows that. I mean, the guy threw the flag down. I said it was a penalty.
First he said it was a touchback.
Yeah. He said penalty. Then he said, no, that's what I was telling you. Then they got 35 because of that. That's what I was asking, and that's why I said that.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. A quarter to go. Giants 12, Cowboys 10. Giants ball, 2nd and 9 at their own 44. Navarro on the move. Sims to throw. Caught by Manuel. Flags again. Lockhart.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's either Bill Bates came in and made a hit, and then Morris hit Bates. So if Bates' hit was legal, then it's going to be against the Giants, against Joe Morris.
Seen a lot of yellow flags today. They're probably going to say offsetting.
I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 on Dallas, number 20 on the Giants. The play stands.
Well, that's what made it offset. They didn't penalize Bates. Here's Manuel. He's working against Williams, the rookie. He's turning him every way but loose. Now watch when he comes in here. He's going to tackle him. Now watch 40 come flying in the picture. Boom. He gives him a shot. Now watch 20 come flying in the picture. He gives him a shot. Now watch 56 come flying in the picture. He's just trying to break it up, I think. I don't know.
And now there are flags flying in the picture. Sims, Tavares by Jeffcoat in the backfield.
Jim Jeffcoat's playing one of the best games I've ever seen him play as a Cowboy. Seems like he's had a big pass rush, and he's spending a lot of time in that Giant backfield.
You know, in the offseason, he and Herschel Walker spent almost every day working out together. And when you talk about a workout, it is some workout. Walker told us yesterday he does 3,500 sit-ups a day in the offseason. A day. That's a lifetime.
Most people haven't done half that many in a lifetime.
I think Elliott moved first.
That's a tough thing when you have a Too Tall lined up outside you, and you got to get up quickly and out.
Ball start, 76.
See, watch what happens. Here's Elliott here. But see, the problem is too tall's coming here, so you have to get back and out. So you tend to bail out a little before the snap. See, and he just started. All the other guys are sitting there nice, and Elliott's blocking too tall.
16 penalties in this game. Second down and 16 and a half, 17 in that area. Morris, right side. Cut down by Bates. Gain 5.
Hey, if you're going to run, you got to get Bill Bates blocked. They list him in the program as a safety, but he is a guy who is truly half linebacker, half safety. Because if you pass, he'll be back there, but if you run, I'll guarantee he's going to be up there where the action is.
He's going to force. Third down and 11 at the 45. Excuse me, John.
No, I'm not going to even say it.
Okay.
About Bill Bates. It's terrible.
Here comes Sims on that semi rollout. Chased and down is Sims by Jones and Danny Newman. Fourth time Sims has been sacked. The Giants lead 12-10 with just under 13 minutes left to play. Buford the punter, Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Cowboys don't block many punts. Never have. Field goals, yes, but not many punts. Buford. Martin signals fair catch. And so Dallas will take over. Billy Owens came close to getting that one. Dallas will take over at the 14. Giants got a safety on the opening kickoff to take a 2-0 lead. They still lead by 2 points. Lionel Manuel has been the big factor that everyone thought he would be. 142 yards, the 1 touchdown, and there have been 16 penalties in this game today. Now, it doesn't sound like it should be a very exciting game, but it has been.
I'll tell you, I think both these sides have played their hearts out this game. I mean, there is some real contact going on down there. I still think the guys that win the war in the pit, the offensive linemen against the defensive linemen, are going to win this game. We go into the fourth quarter, everything is wide open. It's anyone's game to take, but I still say it's going to be won by who blocks and who keeps his guys off his quarterbacks and off his runners. So
Dallas has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 14. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 12:47 left to play. Bloor has Walker behind him and Newsom moving. Draw play Walker. Walker outside the 20 to about the 24. Stopped by Johnny Cooks. But Herschel got 9. 3,500 sit-ups and 700 to 800 push-ups every day.
Well, and then he goes and runs, and then he goes out and works in karate and has guys punch him in the stomach and stuff. And then look at his shoulder pads. His shoulder pads go all the way down his back. You see, they go back down farther than anyone else I know because as he hits, he likes to spin and give him that back to hit.
After he does all that, he plays tennis.
Tennis?
Right. Here's Walker again, straight ahead. Harry Carson on the stop for an update. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Boy, that's a shocker. Here, Pepper Johnson shaken up a little bit on the last play. It's the Giants 12, the Cowboys 10. 2nd down and 7 at the 27. The Giants, who just signed Johnny Cooks, don't have, of course, Lawrence Taylor. They've lost Andy Hedden. Maybe one of their strong suits is becoming neutralized a little bit.
Well, and they waived Byron Hunt this week.
Right. Here's Pallor. Back to throw with time. To Walker. Walker knocked out of bounds by Kennard. And another flag is down.
Hey, Herschel Walker came across the field, and the Giant defense lost him in there. You wonder how you could lose a Herschel Walker. I would think that 8 of the guys on that defense would be keying somewhat on Herschel Walker.
Michael Irvin
Illegal push in the back, number 89.
in the middle of the scene right there. It's got to be Irvin. It can't be number 89. It's got to be 88.
Here it is right here. There's Michael Irvin if it's 88. I guess that's blocking from behind there. That's who it had to be. You know, one thing, the official has to see the full play, though. Because if Irvin starts that block in front of the guy,
First down.
and then goes around behind and keeps the initial contact, that's okay. If he hits him in the back initially, then, of course, it's illegal.
It is still Dallas first down at their own 39, 1st and 10. Alexander, midfield. Dallas first down. Pick up of 12. Kenny Hill made the stop.
Ray Alexander, of all these wide receivers active now for the Cowboys, he's the oldest guy. I think he's 26.
That's right.
But he played in Canada, and Tom Landry said he's starting him because he's the only guy with any experience.
All the rest of their wide receivers are younger. A couple of years ago, they almost didn't have any wide receivers. Now they have a lot, and they have a lot of good ones.
Something to be called old at 26, the old man. Oh, pops.
On first down, Pallor to throw. Protection good. Outside to Walker. Out of bounds at the Giants 37 by Perry Williams.
You know, you look how many times a running back gets hit and why he has to be in that shape. Look what's happened to Herschel Walker. He got hit 54 times running, 8 times blocking, and then receiving 14 times. So far in this game, he's had 76 hits. And I'll tell you, that would wear a guy. That's why he works out every day in the offseason, because he knows that this game comes down to the 4th quarter when you're working on that 80th and 90th and 100th hit.
He said yesterday, I get stronger as the game goes on. So did Joe Morris. I believe it. Here he is. Not much there. Jim Burt on the bottom of the pile. A gain of 4 for Herschel.
They'll say if you're going to run inside, you have to get that nose tackle blocked. And I think what's happening in there is Jim Burt is just too strong for Rafferty. Tom Rafferty is one of those centers who's played in the league for 13 years, and he's never been a real strong run blocker. His biggest thing is his savvy and his pass protection. And Jim Burt is handling him in the line on the run.
Walker is the lone setback this time. Thornton Chandler moves over to the right at tight end. Pallor on 2nd down. Fakes to Walker. Comes out of the pocket. Chandler with a one-hand grab. Gain of 12. Harry Carson and Gary Reasons made the stop.
After they run Herschel. Now they're going to fake Herschel to the inside. He does a good job of picking up the blitz. Then Pallor rolls out, throws it a little behind Chandler, who reaches back and grabs it out of the air one-handed with his right hand.
1st and 10, Dallas at the Giant 21. This is exactly the kind of game that Tom Landry said he thought they would play today. Control it, dominate the time, give it to Herschel. To the 15. Carson tripped him up.
That time Jim Burt, the nose tackle, got penetration against Rafferty, and Herschel was able to run away from it. start and make a cut. Let's watch it here. Herschel's going to come in and make a cut up here. I think Burt starts this way, and Herschel cuts back this way. See him, he still gets his penetration. See him coming that way. Rafferty just gets him turned and gets him knocked down. And look, if you get the nose tackle blocked or turned, look at how big that hole is in there.
2nd and 5. Here's Newsom. Inside the 10. Reasons and Kenny Hill. Newsom got 7. First down.
Now this time they do a good job. Now watch Rafferty again here. He starts in there. Then Burt starts coming down the line, and Newsom is able to get in here and cut back against it. Watch him, see, he starts to watch. Rafferty just stays with him, runs him now beyond the hole. And then Newsom is watching that block, and he's going to cut off of Rafferty's block.
Nate Newton is the injured Cowboy. The Giants still lead by 2.
Tired.
Ankle?
No, I think they probably maybe did. I think he's tired.
That's what I was going to say. He's tired.
Huddle, man, he was just
Yeah.
the eyes was back.
He was a Zimmerman, I guess it would be. Huh?
Yeah, he
Left
did.
ankle.
Yeah, he did. That's Reasons, isn't it? Falling on. No, Newsom's the guy.
This is Reasons right here.
Oh, Newsom then? Yeah. No. Oh, maybe he did. Yeah. I don't know, only if you want to show it. I don't.
First and goal at the 9. Bloor. Middle. Intended for Ray Alexander. Nothing there. Bloor is 8 out of 11 this half for 114 yards. Zimmerman, Jeff Zimmerman, came in for Nate Newton.
You know, an interesting thing, Pat, remember that first play of the game when Clack muffed the ball, then went back, then tried to get out, and they give him a safety. They didn't review that play, and that wasn't a legal play. So the NFL is making a statement now that that wasn't legal, but of course it's too late. You can't change the score.
Nope.
At the time, the Muff, he never had control. He went back there, and then they called it a safety, but in fact, it was a legal play. It should have been a touchback.
2nd and goal from the 9. Bloor chased. Pass is picked off by Carson. He could go if he doesn't run out of gas. Harry Carson caught inside the 35 by Ray Alexander. Bloor just barely got rid of it. He shouldn't have. 65-yard return by Carson. Bloor was pressured by Jim Burt.
And that's what happened to Bloor and the Cowboys against Pittsburgh. These fans remember that one. Watch the pressure. They're going to pressure him. They figure it's an all-out thing. Let's go after him. We're up by 2. Here comes Jim Burt. Bloor just trying to throw the ball away. You don't try and throw it away inside when you're down the goal line. If you're going to throw it away outside. You can't lay a ball up like that inside.
Harry Carson, a veteran who's been to the Pro Bowl and been such a giant leader for so many times, so many years.
I tell you, on a hot day, that's a long run for a 13-year veteran.
I'll tell you.
I don't know what this is, Pat.
Oh, I don't either.
the whole Giant team is coming to the sideline.
They're calling an official timeout, pointing to both teams now. So Parcells says, I want you over here. 7.5 minutes left to play in this contest.
We got it right now.
We've got it. You already explained it, I mean.
Yeah, but you're going to read the statement?
I don't know. Think we need to? Okay. We're at Texas Stadium. The Giants 12-10. Harry Carson just picked off Steve Pallur. Desperation heave as he was about to be sacked by Jim Burt. Brought it back to this spot. 1st and 10 Giants at the Dallas 32 with 7.5 minutes left to play. Bavaro moves in motion. Sims gives to Lawrence. Maybe 3. Harry looks pretty good after that long jaunt.
Well, he just had a big shot of oxygen, too. That's the thing. The first thing you do is you get over to the sideline and you take the praise, then you go for the oxygen deal. Then after you get the oxygen, then you wipe yourself off and hope that your offense can control the ball and get a score out of your interception.
It'll be 2nd and 7. Ball just inside the 30. Joe Morris just went over 100 yards with that carry. Manuel in motion. Reverse coming to Manuel. He's got some room this time. He is supposed to bring it wide, but the Cowboys had it cut off. Eugene Lockhart made the stop.
You know, when Bill Parcells called the entire offensive team over to the sideline, he took that headset off and he gave them either some kind of an emotional plea or a fired up talk to motivate that group.
While they measure, again, the league, the NFL has issued a statement, which we just got, about what John Madden was talking about a minute ago, the opening safety, the opening kickoff. Armin Terzian, who is the replay official, concerning that safety, says the play should have gone to as a touchback with the Cowboys taking the ball on the 20. The rule states that if the return man muffs the ball and it goes into the end zone, he must recover the ball, but he has no responsibility to bring it out. So it should have been a Cowboy touchback. Dallas should have gotten the ball at their own 20. Instead, it's too late now. Sims, Morris to the 20. Gary Cobb made the stop. Gain of 2. Here is the opening kickoff in the event you might have missed it. Here's what happened. Errol Clack is the return man for Dallas.
See, he never has control of the ball. The impetus of the ball takes it in the end zone, so that's a muff. Now it looks like he's trying to get out. He is trying to get out, but that's okay. He didn't get out. So that should have just been a touchback. Dallas's ball on the 20. Then they gave the Giants 2 points and the ball back.
2nd and 8. Here's the pitch. Again, back to Morris. Morris, as he said, he gets stronger as the game goes on. Fumble and a scramble. Sims says we've got it. And he looks as if he really believes it. He's correct.
You notice as you look at those offensive linemen, you see the shirt tails out to defense. Their socks are hanging down. Pants are coming. You know, that's the way it gets on these kind of days and these kind of games.
3rd and 2. If you look on the other side of the line of scrimmage, too, the defense and the offense, a lot of them have shirt tails out.
Well, it's the big guys. It's the big guys that are trying to get a little more air in there. You know, get a little more air up in those legs and up in those stomach areas. A little more oxygen any way you can get it. You can't get down close to the grass because they don't have any grass in this place.
3rd and 2. The ball at the 14. Anderson and Carthon are the running backs. They get to Anderson. He's close. He's close. 12-10 the score with 4:51 left to play. The Giants lead it by 2.
This is going to be a big call for Bill Parcells because I think they're short. Now do you go for the field goal, which gives you a 5-point lead, and they can't beat you with a field goal, or do you try and get the first down? I think the percentage call here is you have to kick the field goal.
I think that's the percentage, and I agree with you. He hasn't made his decision yet.
I think he's waiting, calling for a measurement, although he probably knows it's short, to take a little time to make the decision.
Allegre, at whom you just looked, would have about a 30-yard go at it. It's short. Not quite a yard, I wouldn't think.
He's going to go for it. He's made his decision. He's sending in Joe Morris, and you know Joe Morris isn't going to kick it.
Maurice Carthon and Mark Bavaro and Zeke Moat, 2 tight ends.
And I bet you Joe Morris called his own number. I bet you Joe Morris is going to do it. Last week the Giants went for it twice on 4th down. Made one and missed one.
I guess if I had to make a guess, I'd say Morris right at Noonan, left side.
You were right. And I bet they're going to measure this one, too. How do they know where that ball goes? Look at the ball moving around.
Morris looked as if he might have slipped just a bit as he started to head for the hole.
This can be the mark that determines the game. Watch him right here. He did slip. Watch as he's going down. Just as he went to accelerate, he slipped. He didn't make it either.
So the Cowboys take over, trailing by 2. Giants 12, Dallas 10.
Means by going for that and not getting it, that the Cowboys now, they don't have to go for a touchdown. They have to go first for field goal position. It looked like the blocking was there. It looks like there's a soft spot right off the left guard. And right there, I don't know if he slipped or if he tripped.
I think he did.
Tripped over William Roberts, his tackle.
So Dallas takes over. Nate Newton back in the offensive line, by the way, with 4.5 minutes and 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Beg your pardon, the Giants only have 1. Bullough, draw play to Walker. Harry Carson made the stop. We're at Texas Stadium in Irving, and that's the situation right now. Dallas was, I guess you'd have to say, penalized after the statement we just read. The Giants awarded a safety on the opening kickoff. Morris has 111 rushing yards. Walker has 116 yards total. Next 60 minutes, except on the West Coast. Clock running, less than 4 minutes now. Giants bench showing blitz. Bullough. Cosby, enough for a first. Harry Carson to get on the stop, a gain of 8.
Yeah, you talk about a game, Pat, that's going to be a controversial one. It has to be this one tomorrow. Because if the score stays like it is, then it's going to be that first play that shouldn't have been. If the Cowboys come and win it now, it's going to be that 4th down call. So either way, it's one of those things that are a haven for second guessers.
And of course, without those 2 points, we'd be headed for overtime right now.
That's one thing that we're not going to get in this game.
That's right. First and 10 to 25. Nothing there. Mark Collins up to make the stop. Walker got 1.
You're going to watch Collins here most of the time. Again, they stay out there and cover those wide receivers, but the Giants are one of the teams that blitz their corners. We see Collins do it that time. He comes up like he's covering Alexander, and whap, at the last second, he takes off into the backfield.
2nd down and 9. Just over 2.5 minutes remain. Ray Alexander split wide to the left. Irvin to the right. Here comes that cornerback blitz. Pelluer gets away from it. Batted away by Kennard, intended for Walker. Sheldon White was number 39, blitzing in Pelluer's face.
And that was great coverage by Terry Kennard, because, again, you know you can't hit the guy before you get there. So you have to time that thing, get the right hand and knock the ball down, but don't get your left hand on the receiver. And Kennard didn't do it.
3rd and 9. Speaking of big plays, 2:21 left now.
You're the Giants remembered last week against the 49ers in his 3rd and long.
Walker split wide to the left. Pelluer for Irvin. No.
It was the same play, Pat. It was the same play that the 49ers did against him to Jerry Rice.
They're going to have to punt.
Watch him. They go to Irvin. Last week it was Rice and it was on Collins. The difference is Collins is up there tight. He's running with him. He looks to the inside. Has good coverage. The ball is up to the outside. Collins is about as close in that coverage as you can get.
Saxon back to punt. McConkey back deep for the Giants. Line drive punt that McConkey fair catches. Wisely so, because the Cowboy coverage was good. So the Giants have 1 timeout remaining. They lead by 2 with 2:08 left. San Diego final over Seattle. Atlanta over San Francisco. The Rams beating the Raiders 22-10. .208 remaining at Texas Stadium. The Giants quickly out. Dallas 2 timeouts left, plus the 2-minute warning. Morris by Gary Cobb behind the line of scrimmage, and the 2-minute warning will stop the clock. Bill Sims strolls to the sideline. It'll be 2nd and 13. The Giants at their own 34. Ends with 60 minutes. And you know, if it's Sunday, it must be 60 minutes. And if it's 60 minutes, it's everybody's favorite, the news magazine. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. Then it's the CBS Sunday movie Rockabye. That's all coming up after football. Second down and 13. Giants. Sims goes back over the middle. Bavaro. Bavaro tripped up by Ron Burton. And a timeout, Dallas. Well, they take the timeout. Minnesota humbled the Bears 31-7. Jim McMahon suffered a bruised left knee. Miami beat Green Bay. Buffalo over New England with no time left. 11 seconds. The Jets 45-3 over Houston. Boy, that's a shocker. Cincinnati remained unbeaten, beating Pittsburgh 17-12. New Orleans over Detroit. They improved to 2-1. 22-14 the score there. Phoenix Cardinals beat Tampa Bay 30-24. Kansas City 20, Denver 13, another upset. Washington over Philadelphia 17-10. And San Diego upset Seattle 17-6. Third down and 7. Ball at the 40. Now both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Sims out of the shotgun. Gives on the draw play to Adams, and there's nothing there. Gary Cobb.
Hey, that guy, Gary Cobb, has played real well for the Cowboys today. Really starting his first game. They got him from the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll see him here. He didn't go for that draw. I think the Giants are going to that play too many times on third down. You know, it's a good play to catch you off balance.
When they had Tony Galbraith, they always make it work.
Yeah, but it looked like Cobb had one of those computer scouting reports that said, third down, shotgun, Adams, draw, you watch.
Rams over the Raiders now by 12. Clock stopped with 1:44 remaining. Giants lead the Cowboys by 2 points. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Buford back to punt. Kelvin Martin back deep. Hubbard is there. Out of bounds he goes. Just outside the 30. So 1:35 remaining.
Yeah, two things we have to remember, I think, here is that the Cowboys only need a field goal because of that 2 points. The other thing is that they have no timeouts.
Steve Pallure as quarterback all day. 12-10. Typical NFC Eastern Division type contest. Dallas, as John Madden said, no timeouts. 3 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. And Pallure up the middle of Walker. Gain of about 5.
And that's the thing the Giants want them to do. Keep the ball in the middle because they have no timeout. Now, because of the pileup, the officials are calling timeout to stop the clock.
Again, the same formation with Walker in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pallure. Giants put on some heat. Pass is caught by Irvin. Close to a first down. I'm not sure it is. One minute left. Third afoot. Pallure has the pass intercepted by Gary Reasons, but there's a flag on the play.
If it's against the Cowboys, this game's over.
They're indicating it's not. It's against the Giants. I think somebody held Walker. It was Reasons.
And of course, that not only stops the clock, it gives the Cowboys a first down because that was a third down play.
And a chance to collect thoughts.
First down.
Was Reasons on Walker. To the 45, first and 10 Dallas with 49 seconds left.
Well, now with the ball on the 45, the Cowboys need a couple more completions because they have to get the ball down to the 30-yard line or inside to go for the field goal. And remember, Roger Rusek just became active for this game.
It is Rusty. No flag. Pass is picked off by Perry Williams. And that should do it. 12-10, the Giants lead. 42 seconds remain. Perry Williams.
The Giants have this one. I'll tell you, it's been a tough day for them. They were down after that last week against the 49ers, but they came back here and played these Cowboys tough today.
So the Giants take over at their own 38. 42 seconds remaining. Terry Williams accepting the accolades from his teammates.
I wonder what the Cowboys are going to say in the locker room when they find out the 2 points that they were beaten by shouldn't have been.
I don't know what they're going to say, but I know they're going to say something.
Probably one of the